You can't see a thing. I'm sorry, guys. It's late here. And if you saw my announcement on the main channel yesterday, then you probably know what I'm going to talk about. So, if talking about pets dying, dogs passing away, makes you guys really sad, then go ahead and skip today. And tomorrow, we'll try to do something really happy. And if the air conditioning units next to our apartment are being too noisy, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to try to talk this out now, because this is one of the first vlogs that I've had to do when not everything is okay emotionally. But I decided I'm going to do it because it's like, I think it'll help me. Talking to you guys when I'm doing good always helps me. This poor tomato plant, he gets to take the brunt of everything I have to say. It feels so weird to tell jokes right now, but I don't know, maybe it's like a cheerful bubble of optimism that just refuses to be held down that's popping up right now. But what I'm trying to say is, like, things aren't okay. They're okay. Like, they're okay. This is so hard. Our dog is being put down right now. Zoe. She doesn't live with us. Zoe is our Great Dane in the family, and I say ours because she's been in the family for almost 10 years. She would have been 10. She would have been 10 in a couple months, and that's extremely long-lived for a Great Dane. That's the longest any of our Danes have ever lived. She's the only Dane we ever bought from a breeder, and we got her from a breeder because all of the rescue Great Danes that we had died very quickly because they were already very old, or they had issues, or they hadn't been fed the right food as a puppy, and so they had a lot of conditions. And so the longest we ever had a Great Dane before Zoe was only about 2 years. And so Zoe has been part of the family for almost 10 years. And she is just old. She is just old, and she's just in a exceptionally large amount of pain tonight. And she's been getting sick and kind of getting to that point where she's starting to get a few growths, you know, when they're older female dogs who haven't been spayed. We never bred her, just for her conditions. It was better just to put up with, like, when she would go into heat than to spay her because of some conditions she had. And so, like, logistically, she's done great. I mean, I'm all sweaty because I just got back from a walk around the lake with Chips, because I kind of got the news earlier and then I wasn't sure, but the lake always helps me heal, and I got some cute videos from the lake, but I might save them for another day because I feel like I just have to purge this out, and I'm just gonna go for it. So yeah, Zoe's being put down right now, and I'm the only one in the family who's not there with her, or not there to at least say goodbye in person. And if I didn't know she remembered me and recognized me every single time I would go home, and she would just run up and be so excited. And one time she gave me a black eye because they're Great Danes, they're huge dogs. And so one time I came home to visit my family because I lived with my aunt for many, many years. I moved in with my aunt to work as her nanny and kind of ease the financial burden back at home a long time ago. But anytime I would go back to visit, Zoe would recognize me and run up, and she was so funny as a puppy. She had just these big giant paws. Great Danes have giant paws and ears, and she was gray with black spots all over, and she was just an adorable puppy. She was smaller than my cat, my Maine Coon cat, Friday. And Friday beat the crap out of her the first day we got her, and we didn't expect it. We brought her home and put her on the floor, and we were all sitting around in a circle going, "Oh, look at the puppy!" And then Friday burst out like a shadowy demon from under a table and just boxed the heck out of her while we're all screaming and freaking out. And then finally we rescued the poor puppy. But I guess his mission was accomplished because Zoe very rarely messed with Friday or any of the other cats while he was alive. But yeah, Zoe, that's really weird to think that she's not going to be there next time I go and see my family. And it's really weird not to be with them right now, because I'm also very nurturing. So it's not just for Zoe's sake or my sake that it's weird. I wouldn't say it's sad, but it's weird not to be with them. because I am very in love with my family, and I wish I could be there to make this easier for them. I wish I could be there to sit with my mom. I think she's the only one who can't go right now to the vet because of being bedbound. My mom isn't physically able to go, and Zoe, we eventually got her because my mom's had Great Danes for about 15 years now, as her emotional support dogs. Her I can't remember what they're called because I'm a little bit scattered right now, but you have pets that serve as your emotional support dogs, and they are like medically classified, and Zoe has been her emotional support dog for the last 10 years, and the Danes we had before that were the same. And we had Oliver and Simone before Zoe. My mom always says how safe she feels with a Great Dane, but she's always said Great Danes are heartbreak because they don't live very long, and Zoe did my mom good because she lived for a long time. But it is weird not being there right now with them while they're having to do this. It is weird because nothing in my daily life really changes at all. Everything's exactly the same. So, yeah, I don't want to talk like I'm asking for attention about this or condolences, but I thought it was appropriate because sometimes when I ramble like this, I say something that really resonates with somebody. So I thought I would talk about that now. She's sick, so I'm not sad, if that makes sense. To me, sad is tinged with a kind of grief, like things would be better if they were different, is what sad means to me. I'm resolved with a cloud of grief around the resolve. Does that make sense? Sad means I wish things could change, or they could change, and in this case they can't. She's old and sick, and this is the time. So I'm resolved with grief. Because you try to fix sad, and this isn't something that can be fixed. This is something that is just experienced. How do you mourn a family member that you lose when you're so far away? How do you mourn a family member that you lose when you know it's the time to lose them? It's kind of like remembering when my grandmother and my grandfather died. I wish I could say it wasn't their time, but all the doctors said differently, you know? I'm really glad Blueberry made it. Thank you. I don't know if I have any other stories or anything else to say. Hopefully I've shared a few pictures of like my family sitting with her today. Just to kind of memorialize it. It doesn't feel right to say it like that though, because it's not like this is something that's just finished as soon as I end this video. But I don't know. I guess I'm one of those people who feels like it's good to take a few minutes to just set aside and designate as like this is the time to talk about the loss of Zoe, the Great Dane. This is the time to talk about how she's dying. And this is the time to talk about what she meant for my family. This is the time to talk about how it's time, her time. And then everything that comes after that is like the echoes, the ripples, because things have been resolved one way or another. So yeah, I may seem a little bit emotionless about it, and I don't mean to come off that way. I grieve very differently from a lot of people, I think. Because I think I've learned by now that love isn't something that ends when someone dies, or a relationship ends, or that's really the best way to define it. Love isn't something that ends when a relationship ends because it was just its time for the relationship to end, or death. So I don't think I'm devastated, because I know I'm always going to carry the love for her in my heart, just like I'll tuck her up next to the love I have for all the other people I've lost, either through death or other circumstances over the years. And I think that sometimes when we're so devastated when something like this happens, it's because we think that that love is over. And that's, I think, the most painful part of loss, is thinking that the love of it, the love in the relationship, is gone forever. And it's not. So maybe that's why I don't come off as being too sad. If anything, the grief I feel is for my family, and for wishing I could have done more to make Zoe more comfortable, and wishing that I could be there to nurture them through this, and serve up just warm seas of more love to hopefully help them heal. And it's very frustrating because I don't know how to do that when I am so far away from my family. I guess all I know is that the only option to me for the way I live in my life is to move forward and create more love. No matter how much I'm hurting or how confused I am about what the right thing to do is, the best thing to do is just move forward and create more love. And I think that's what helps to heal the most. Thank you. I think I found the thing I was looking for talking to you guys about this. And there's a lot of really cool stuff I want to share with you tomorrow. But I think I'm going to take a shower and make a cup of tea. And that'll be it for the night. Thank you so much for letting me have this space to try to share all of this with you guys. And for being part of the daily adventures, the highs, the lows. I hesitate to call this a low in a way. The journey that you and I take together on this vlog channel, it's a real journey. That means it goes through the dark parts of the forest and the high parts and the flower meadows and the frustrating logistics of trying to make sure you have enough food and water to get through the hike you're on, that kind of journey. Because we experience all of life together like this, so. Alright, thank you guys. See you all tomorrow.